Eh? Hello and welcome to GameDojo's review of No Man's Sky by Hello Games. This small game was developed only by 14 individuals, so I'd categorize it as an indie game. The problem is we've all been kind of fed this kind of concept it's a AAA title because it's coming out for the PS4 with the big $60 price tag. No Man's Sky is basically a self-generated or mathematically generated galaxy of billions upon billions of stars. There's 18 quadrillion planets that you can discover in this game. And that's ridiculous. Apparently that's more planets that can be discovered than if the entire planet discovered 500 planets every minute for 10 years. The game I found is a Zen game, a game where you kind of just chill out and you just relax and you're like, yo dude, I'm gonna fly this planet. Ooh, that's awesome. But there's a problem, and this is the big problem. There isn't enough in this game to do to A, justify the $60 price tag, and B, justify streaming it. I found that after only about a couple hours of gameplay, I kind of started feeling like I've discovered and experienced everything the game had to offer. I was like, what? Yeah, What happens is that the game kind of reprocesses the same sort of vibe in every one of the planets. You can tell that there's a mathematical calculation of how many plants are placed where, and where the mounds of minerals are, and where this and that is. And then they change the hue, as I made that one video, I think some of you guys know about it. And then the plants and animals are kind of randomly put together with parts that you can tell are probably algorithmically created. The point is it's not like this massive wide range of stuff. You just kind of get a dog with 2 eyes, or a dog with 2 eyes further back, or a dog with 3 eyes with a tail that's twice as long. You know, little subtle things that don't really make for a huge variation, but just enough that they can say it's different. It's not enough to really consider itself a really infinite possibility scenario. You don't have any quests, you don't really have any missions. I believe the game has like basically to get to the center of the universe and traveling to certain anomalies that will eventually give you an option to either go to a black hole to get closer to the center or to find a different pathway, etc., etc. There's really very little when it comes to story or things to do or activities to find. I find that to be kind of a problem. I'm not a big, huge proponent of having to have mission after mission after mission like on Skyrim or something. I wanted to go to a planet and say, oh my gosh, there's a cavern here that's 4 billion miles deep. I might fall and die. Or I want to see a mountaintop that's so high it goes through the clouds. Or I want to see a waterfall. I wanted to see something a little bit more dynamic versus just hills and plants and whatnot. I found that finding minerals is pretty easy, even some of the rare stuff. I found it very pleasurable to actually kill those rocks with lasers. The problem came in the fact that there's really no customization. Like you couldn't add this amount of material with this material with a little extra iron and a little more thanium or whatever, and then you could get like a certain sort of boost or whatever. I felt like that was lacking. They could have done something better. Instead, it's just a predetermined, you need this much with this much combined, now you got this upgrade. I thought, well, that means anybody could do the exact same upgrade multiple times. Therefore, everyone's multi-tools are nearly identical. Everyone's ships are nearly identical. They're just getting better. With that said, there is a lot of room for improvement in a game that's really solidly built. There could be years upon years upon years of amazing upgrades and amazing new DLC. Well, I spent 60 bucks, and this is where I'm coming into it. I think $60 is far too expensive for this game, and I'm pretty sure everyone's in agreement. This is a $20 to $40 game at it sits. It's a Zen game. It's a game meant to be played on your own time, to relax, to enjoy your time, but it's not really a game that's meant to be challenging or enthralling or intriguing. It's meant to be a completely different vibe. That's a $40 game. Now, if they start doing DLC with like missions, with quests, with more dynamic building concepts, with the ability to build something or to build a base of some sort, now we're getting into different territory. Now we're getting closer to more of a Fallout kind of scenario. As for graphics, the game itself I think does okay. The colors and the dynamic shapes do create very pretty vistas. But once you really zoom up on the textures of the game, you realize these are not next generation textures. They're not huge swathing 4K textures that they've plopped into the system. They're definitely dumbed down, probably for the procedural processing of all the planet creation. Apparently when the game was released on PC, there was some bugs in it. I got it on both PC and PS4 to test it out. I have a video on it. that created some issues with frame rates and stuttering and stuff. I heard that today they fixed it, so I'm not going to go into detail about, oh, they should have done this or done that. It's a small company. They did a good job with the game release as best they could. Would have been smarter, I think, to test it for another week to make sure, or like a beta of some sort, to make sure the stuttering effect didn't happen. But apparently they created the fix within 3 days of release, so all good for them. All power to them, and I do wish them luck. As for my recommendation, I give this a 7.25 out of 10. I would have given it like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10 if I would have seen a little bit more in the involved of customization, not necessarily quests per se, but more on the building or the able to manipulate your own minerals and your own resources to create your own customized guns and multi-tools and ships, only because I think that's part of what this would have been really good to have, just totally everything you. As for PC versus PS4, being that it's only exclusive to PS4, you can't get on Xbox One, there's arguments for both sides. I think as a console user, I was very pleased that PS4 worked right out of the box, was really well packaged, and was smooth running. But the 60 frames per second of PC is very alluring, since the console version restricts it down to 30 frames per second. I think once you get down to 30, it's a little more jittery. It feels more cinematic, I guess, but it's got that less smooth vibe to it. The textures and the detail on PC is also a little bit better, but for the fact that the game is right now a Zen game, all about just chilling and mining and exploring, I recommend the console version on its current state. So that's it. As I said, I recommend the game. I feel the price is a little bit too high for what it's worth currently. I do hope that they come up with some DLCs that will really boost the game to something of a next level scenario that really takes the game to a whole place that we are not used to yet. And I really do believe that PC and PS4 both offer equal opportunities for the game's enjoyment. So good luck, hope you enjoy the game, and I'll see you at 10 p.m. Central at the GameDojo channel.